It doesn't begin with chaos. It begins quietly. You're a child, standing in a room where something feels wrong, but no one explains it to you. You don't yet have language for what you're sensing, only a feeling in your body that tells you this place is not safe to be small. You look at the adults around you, and instead of protection, you see fragility. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's absence. And without being asked, without being taught, you understand that someone has to hold things together. So you do. Not consciously, not heroically. You adjust, you adapt, you grow up. This is how a child grows up too fast. Not because they want to, but because the environment leaves them no other option. Safety becomes conditional. Love becomes unpredictable. And childhood becomes a responsibility instead of a refuge. You learn to read the room before you speak. You notice shifts in tone, changes in mood, silences that feel heavy. You become alert, watchful, careful. Your nervous system learns that anticipation is survival. Psychology has a name for this. Parentification. It happens when a child takes on emotional or practical roles meant for adults. You become the listener, the mediator, the emotional stabilizer, long before your brain is ready, and the world often rewards this. You're called mature, responsible, strong. What no one asks is what had to be sacrificed for you to become that way, because when a child is forced to prioritize others' emotions, something critical happens internally. Your own needs don't disappear, they just become dangerous. You learn that wanting too much, feeling too deeply, or asking for help risks rejection. So you suppress, you minimize, you disappear emotionally, not all at once, but slowly, carefully, until it feels normal. Inside, a split forms. There's the version of you that performs well, capable, dependable, composed, and beneath that, there's a younger part that never got held, never got protected, never got to be careless. That younger part doesn't vanish, it waits. As you grow older, the patterns follow you. You may become hyper-independent, uncomfortable, relying on anyone. You may struggle to rest because stillness feels unsafe. Productivity becomes the only place where you feel worthy. You might notice that joy feels muted. Even during good moments, part of you stays alert, braced for disruption. Your nervous system learned early that calm never lasts. Relationships can feel especially complicated. You may overgive, overfunction, or emotionally manage others while neglecting yourself. Or you may keep distance entirely because closeness feels like obligation. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means something happened to you. Children will abandon their own needs before they abandon attachment. This isn't weakness, it's biology. When safety is uncertain, the child adapts to preserve connection at any cost. What saved you then, however, can imprison you now. The strategies that kept you safe as a child can slowly erode you as an adult. You may tell yourself it wasn't that bad, that others had it worse, that you turned out fine. But fine is often just a socially acceptable way to describe unacknowledged pain. The truth is, a child who grows up too fast doesn't lose their childhood. It gets stored in the body, in tension, in vigilance, in the inability to fully relax. Healing doesn't begin with fixing yourself. It begins with witnessing what you adapted to. It means allowing yourself to name what was missing. Protection, consistency, emotional safety. Someone who noticed when you were overwhelmed instead of praising you for handling it. This is where many people resist. Because grief is uncomfortable. Mourning the childhood you didn't get feels indulgent, unnecessary, even weak. But it's the opposite. Grief is proof that something mattered. And what mattered was you. Growing up too fast often teaches you to confuse strength with self-abandonment. To confuse love with responsibility, to confuse exhaustion with purpose. But you're no longer a child trapped in that environment. The nervous system can learn new patterns. The inner child you suppressed can be met not with pressure, but with permission. Permission to rest. Permission to need. Permission to feel without managing the outcome. No one is coming to rescue the child you once were. And that sounds frightening until you realize what it actually means. It means you don't have to wait anymore. You can become the adult who notices, who protects, who says what no one said back then. You didn't deserve that. You don't have to grow up alone anymore. And that's not weakness. That's where real strength begins.